today for the kids, and they came back with homework for the grown-ups. I'm like, what the hell?
That's cool. Oh shit, I'm live. Well, we live.
Oh, we live now.
What's going on, people?
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Shit.
It went straight
I'm
live.
doing homework.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon. Depends on when you're watching our show from today. We appreciate it. We're back with Bgst.
Hashtag Flat Earth.
Yeah, hashtag Flat Earth, right? A few stories that came out since the last time we got together. Let me turn my mic up, make sure you guys can hear me loud and clear. Hold on, sound. We got Xbox All Access has been confirmed. A few things, you know what I mean? All right, I'm good. So anyway, like I said, hold on. We can talk. So you want to say?
Nah. I was just going to say, like, there was a lot of news that came out today, and my mind is just completely on Cyberpunk right now. And what the 48 minutes I saw of gameplay. Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, I was watching some of it now. You know what I mean now. But what's been going on with you? I haven't spoken to you in a while. Is everything all right with you, good brother?
Not too much, man. Like I said, kids are going to school, but when it comes to gaming, I'm getting ready for Forsaken. Destiny 2 DLC comes out next week. Tomorrow they're doing kind of like the sandbox fixes. They're increasing time to kill in the multiplayer and stuff like that. So, man, basically I've just been grinding out on Destiny. I got back into Forza Horizon 3 a little bit as well. Damn, that game looks good, yo. But yeah, just doing my typical thing, man. I can't wait until Forsaken comes out next week, though. I'm gonna hibernate when that thing releases, man.
Oh, okay, all right. Good brother D, what's going on with you, good brother?
What's up, man? I'm just hot off the heels of a big AMD event in my city yesterday. A huge PC event. Some of the PCs I saw that were just beautiful, man. They had a $12,000, like a real $12,000.
Oh shit!
You said a real $12,000.
They had a Ryzen 16 thread 32 core PC there that retailed for $12,000. Had a Vega GPU, was liquid cooled out the ass, man. It had like 128 gigabytes of RAM. It was just unbelievable, and the people there were so nice. I actually did a video today talking about some of the stuff that's going on with 7 nanometer Vega and whatnot, and I put some of the footage from that event in that video, so you guys can always click on that.
Did it have ray tracing in 1080p though?
Hey, you know what? Not to get off too off course, but I just want to say this, and I'm probably going to address this in a video. But for those expecting ray tracing at this point in time to go past 1080p, they're sadly mistaken.
Dude, it's brand new. People got to realize it's graphic fidelity, not overall resolution. When it comes to ray tracing, they're improving the tools for graphical fidelity, not your native resolution or anything like that. That comes later, man.
Yeah. It'll look good. Don't get me wrong. I think it'll look really good. It'll be pretty, but I think this first generation, there's games that are going to be supporting it, obviously, but I don't think they're going to run the best with all the ray tracing on. They got to get the quirks. So I would say maybe 2 years from now, 3 years, it's going to be mainstream.
All right. Who else we got in today? Hey, Mega, what's going on with you, good brother?
What's up, man? What's happening? What's happening?
What's going on? Anything? What's your plan?
Man, just chilling.
He just turned 54 years old, man.
Jesus.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, still going strong. Anyway, my birthday was this past weekend, man. But I wanted to give my condolences to the people out there in Jackson, Florida, man.
Yes,
it's pretty unfortunate. We got to keep going through people losing their lives over nonsense, especially over a video game where it's all hitting home and everything. So, man, my heart goes out to those two guys, and just all the rest of the victims out there, man, and just people all over, man, that's just getting it. Like, I mean, that was publicized, but there's other people out here, you know what I'm saying, in inner cities and everywhere just getting blasted, and they're just not getting any coverage. So my heart goes out to this, man. We got to do something about this gun shit, man. We really do.
If I could just touch on that real quick, I see that what's his name? The wrestler. What's his name, man? That does our show.
I don't watch wrestling.
Baron.
Yeah, Baron. So Baron was tweeting out. He said that he was actually gonna go to that event, and he decided last week not to go. So he can count his lucky stars. And my condolences go out to all those people. You know, we in the States, you know, it needs an overhaul in the gun laws. It really does.
Yeah, well, to me, I hear what you're saying when it comes to gun laws, but to me, it's more of a society issue. I lived in a crazy city in Bridgeport all my life. Like, I hear what's going on in that convention. I almost got shot in a middle school dance, and it was a Catholic school in Bridgeport. So I think it's more of a society thing than any kind of like legislation or political law can fix, to be really honest with you, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I disagree to a certain extent. I mean, it's people that I'm a you know a Second Amendment supporter, man. I'm own guns, but the thing of it is that it's not. I think there's a place and a time, and people need to be better evaluated. I mean, it's just, I mean, we have people for CDLs, we have people that's computer techs, we have all different people that have certifications for this. And I think that if a person needs a gun, they have to be able to go and be evaluated. It's just a crazy situation, man. I mean, I hate it to be that way, but when you look at it from terrorist acts, because these are terrorist type acts, it's 90% or over domestic. It's Americans killing Americans, man. It's really fucked up, man.
And you know what? I think it starts from the top up. You know, unfortunately, in my opinion, I know some people are gonna have a different opinion on this, but you know, people that are in charge, the man that's in charge over there right now, I don't think he's up to the job, up to the task. Instead of coming out this morning and asking, you know, wishing some condolences for the people that lost their lives and the people that got injured, you know, the commander in chief is tweeting about Tiger Woods and all this other nonsense instead of, you know, wishing these families these condolences. So I hope politically things get in order over there, and that, you know, you all can get the country in order, because a lot of, not just at this event, a lot of young people are losing their lives. Like, I was watching, I don't know, it was about 3 weeks ago in Chicago, like in one day, 95 people were killed. Like, they showed a video of all the families in front of the hospital. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah, it's bad. It's
Something
bad
has to be
situation.
done. Like, come on.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I didn't want to but I just had to just show my condolences to those people.
Yeah, no doubt.
Look, me being in man turning myself, I mean, and it just kind of makes you nervous about going to certain public places. I mean, but you know, when you go to certain clubs or certain period, you kind of get used to that type of scenario. But for going to a gaming tournament and then, you know, get lit up just because somebody was in their feelings, or it was premeditated. It was some kind of premeditated, because dude was from Baltimore, came out there, did some shit. So it was something wild, but it was
he drove down. I was saying, how did he? Yeah. Here's my thing, and we going with the show. I haven't been the biggest Obama supporter, but when it comes to this, he did put certain guidelines in place. If you have a mental illness, you know, that you're not, you know, able to get a gun permit or gun license, can't walk into. If you're schizophrenic, you wouldn't then, under the Obama administration, be able to walk into Walmart and buy a AR-15 or whatever the case may be. I know that the Trump administration rolled those laws back. So here it is that cause you have some people that are legally, like my aunt, she gets a check every month from the state. She's schizophrenic, but she's not even mentally able to handle her check every month. She has to have a more or less guardian to give us a piece by piece, make sure she buys groceries. But she can walk into Walmart right now and buy an AR-15. Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. It's kind of, like you said, becomes the norm. When it happens so much, you're just looking like, damn. I remember the first time a mass shooting that I recall was the Columbine, and they were blaming it on rock and roll and the trench coat mafia. You know what I mean?
I remember that, yo. Yeah.
They went from blaming that shit on out the video game. Like, this shit is crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
A lot of copycats out here, man.
This here was a black eye for the gaming community in this whole. Like, you know what I mean? Sucks. You know what I mean? Could you imagine that shit happened at a Call of Duty tournament or something, man?
It'd been crazy. It'd been crazy. And that's the sad thing about this, is that it seems like the 90s is coming back all over again, because Gingrich and them was making that big move on going after violent video games. And it's like it's starting to rev up again, because people haven't been mentally evaluated, and people out here owning guns, they can go into just gun shops, places, know somebody, get straps, and then just do this type of heinous crime. But but I will say, I watched all 48 minutes of Cyberpunk 2077, and like, CD Projekt Red, man, if people don't start giving them their props to being one of the best developers of this generation and shit, I don't know, man. That game's a big one.
I'm gonna finally get into a CD Projekt Red game, man. I'm excited, dude.
You fucked up by not playing The Witcher, but
dude, I have it. I tried to play it for like a couple hours and it didn't grab me, man. It didn't grab me whatsoever. And don't tell me I need to play it for like 20 hours before.
No. You just get to it just to get into it.
For some people, the medieval thing is just not for them.
Yeah, that's what I think. I outgrew kind of like the swords and spells kind of.
Chip Diamond, thank you, appreciate it, man. I'm sorry.
Oh shit!
But look at this gorgeous Spider-Man going on right now, man. Look at those graphics, dude.
Well,
Downgrade.
Hey, so we want to talk. You want to talk? You guys want to talk about Cyberpunk, or you want to go into Spider-Man Downgrade?
Let's go right into Cyberpunk, man, because it's
that's a more pressing thing.
That 48 minutes was fucking insane. The graphics were incredible. In fact, what we saw in the trailer reveal at E3 was in fact gameplay footage.
It was in game, hell yeah.
It was in game. That is insane. The lighting that I saw in that game was fantastic. The models look excellent. The level of customization, the arching story branches that you can do even through dialogue. Wow. I was just impressed. My mouth is on the floor. Like usually I can't sit through 48 minutes of these demos and shit. Usually I skip through it. Man, after that was over, I was like, oh my God, it's done. Like I want to see more. I can't wait for this game to come out. And seeing how they showed us so much of the game, I'm pretty sure that game's coming out next year. That's a 2019 title.
Oh, absolutely. And the one thing about it that really had me off the edge of my seat was the destruction that was also and then just the creation, the creative ways that you can use your weapons. And I was just like, man, and it's so original. Like there's really nothing.
Fucking a shotgun through a wall at you.
Yeah, like dude, like will the chick sit there and slid and just sprayed down the dude's legs, and then slow motion you hear Jesus Christ. It's so sick, man. And then what I'm saying, it's a definitely strong mature game. Like this isn't for your kids. This is adult oriented. So it's like everything else CD Projekt.
I have a question. Well, I got a question. First of all, shout out to Robin Griffin. He says Zaire's playing the undercover pony like NWO in wrestling. Yeah. Here's a question now.
What's it called?
Cyberpunk 2077, right?
Right.
But didn't they hint at a few months ago, or just last year, that their next project will be cross generation? Because I'm looking, I've seen some of the footage. I don't see that seeing that type of gameplay on the PS4 Pro or the X. Like that's just
that was running on consoles. That was definitely running on consoles because I could see some pop in, and as well it was at 1080p. That was running on consoles.
Yeah, it matched.
It's also the buttons were Xbox buttons, but of course if you playing it on PC, you can still use it.
I think it's PC footage, to be real with you.
If it was PC footage, they would have broadcasted in 4K, man.
Well, it don't matter to me. I don't care. I mean, I'm still getting it on the X. I don't really care what it's on and what it is. That the game looked phenomenal for what they showed, and the game is not finished yet and it's not polished yet. So, I mean, it's a work of art. And man, I'm just saying, if people don't start giving CD Projekt Red their just due of being one of the top developers, man, I don't know. Shame on you, for real talk.
Yeah,
if that was PC footage, then I can't wait till they release like the raw PC footage at 4K. Holy shit!
Right.
I showed my oldest son the gameplay, man, and he sat there glued for like 48 minutes. I was like, it's crazy, man. I'm predicting this is like a late 2019 release, like around the holidays. They still have a year to polish things up as they go, man. This is gonna be a crazy game, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. Another 400 hours plus on this one.
I don't know. I hate to be Debbie down. I just wish it was in third person.
Look at this.
I just wish it was. I wish it was in third person.
No, I like
the first person shooter.
I know. I wish it was in third person.
No, actually, it worked. For it to be a shooter, it works. I was the same way.
It's a shooter or it's an RPG?
It's a shooter RPG hybrid.
Yeah. It's its own little thing right now. And watch, people are going to start following suit, because when I first heard that it was going to be first person, I was kind of like, I don't know about this. How are they going to make it work? And then when you see the action and the gameplay, you completely forget about the third person.
You saw when they added the grips to her hands as like the upgrade for her gun.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like that was, like I said, I watched the whole thing and then I watched it watched almost the whole thing again. Like
watched the whole thing.
I was worried just like you, Z, about the first party. First person, and I wanted to be third person. I really did. But after seeing today's footage, I'm not even thinking about the third person. And anyways, it goes into third person when you're interacting with other characters, when you're driving the car, when you're getting your upgrade.
Like
so you get to see your character. So
hold on, shout out to Von Lamont. He said if it was in third person, such as myself, he will be more interested. To me, it just screams, I don't know, third person. I don't know.
I mean, like, you have games like Fallout and shit, which are first person.
Yeah, and see, the first person aspect brings something newer to the table than what, they're known for The Witcher, and I think they wanted to do something a little bit different and still give you that immersive experience that people who have played The Witcher and like that, just in a different setting with the whole cyberpunk and everything like that. This game is going to sell tons, man.
Yeah, this game is right here, this game is going to definitely do it. But then was he about this game, which I think once people start getting into it, is the story. It's going to be dark. It's going to be gory. It explains this like 3 or 4 times during the guy doing the narration about how this game is. It's going to be dark. It's mature. It's on a whole nother scale. Like, dude, like you just are all into doing some crime shit. And like, I like the little boss moves that she was playing with the dude in the truck in the car that gave her the chip so she could go find that little robot, and the decisions you had to make, just kind of like, like Witcher. And it's just like, but it's futuristic, but yet feels kind of modern. It's crazy, man. Crazy. I can't wait for it. Can't wait.
Well, you're seeing it right now, Z. What do you think, man?
I mean, it looks it looks like it should be in third person. I don't know, man. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I guess like I just I prefer third person everything. You know what I mean? Sometimes
you're always like Gears over Halo and stuff
Gears
like that.
Is over Halo, man. But I'm just saying, I get dizzy. Sometimes you make me dizzy, man. I don't know. Give me motion sickness sometimes. I just prefer.
Z, get that vertigo, man.
Yeah. Listen, but I just enjoy those games better. That's more. I guess I don't know. Look. I even say you got this beautiful world right here. To me, it'd be so much better if it was in third person. Not saying this looks bad or is bad or anything. Is it a multiplayer? I'm looking at it.
It has multiplayer in it too.
Online multiplayer with deathmatch or what is it? Deathmatch or what is it?
I don't know what the details are, but there is multiplayer plans.
Co-op?
They haven't been too kind of like informative when it comes to the multiplayer. They said multiplayer like aspects to this game, but I haven't heard any details unless somebody else on the panel has. I haven't, man.
And honestly, in first person, just the gunplay and everything is just different compared to a third person anyway. So I'm just more excited for that aspect. Like, I think this game's actually having a good gunplay
right there, man.
Yeah.
I think it takes away from the enhancements that you're going to be adding to your character on leveling up, because once you've seen when she was sitting in the chair and then like she got those grips and then like that eye and all of that. If it was a third person, you wouldn't see the details on the weapons or how to use the weapons, because there's one weapon where you was ricocheting off the wall.
That shit was crazy.
That shit was crazy, man. And I think they want you to see the detail of all these different weapons and abilities that this person can do. And if you have it in third person, it takes away from the immersion.
What the hell is this? Detroit become human? What the hell's going on here, man?
It's going down. It's going down.
Got them taters.
They always gonna show some naked chicks.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking now. I'm gonna go enter Top Dog's question here in a sec. But do you guys think CD Projekt Red may just have a genre-defining game on their hands with this?
Definitely,
absolutely.
As long as the options and everything are as open as they say they are, and there's no reason for me not to believe them. They delivered for people when it came to the entire Witcher series. So they have the credibility behind them. And if they say this is how open it is, they showed the mission and they're like, can you imagine if you didn't work out the deal with that corporate lady? And
exactly.
You could have went in totally different. Like, how would that have ended up?
And even that was a complete chance. You don't know what would have happened if you talked to her.
Right. And the fact of it is, I say it's their second, because The Witcher was...
that's what I mean. There's another one under their belt.
And that is something like on the level of Rockstar.
Yeah,
Because, and that's what I'm saying. That CD's Project Red should be in that discussion now. Because this game just showing this. I see what Top Dog is saying, and I have to totally disagree.
What Top
I
Dog
haven't
say?
seen anything like that.
For $2, he says Cyberpunk looks boring. It's doing nothing new.
Okay, okay. Here's a question. All right, now let's be clear. Cyberpunk 2077 or The Last of Us 2.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
What?
I think I would
Well,
get a lot more time
Hold
into
on,
Cyberpunk.
Z, check this out. Let me explain why. I know you're a graphic whore over here, man. I know this, and I know it's about the graphics and how pretty it is, but how wide open this game is, and how every single decision can change the storyline and bring you somewhere else. That's why I would pick this game over that, man.
Well, the one thing for me is it's more bang for your buck. This game is even if you take the easiest pass and play it on easy, it's still going to be 100 hours. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get your bang money's worth with this.
I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I don't need 100 hours. I don't need a big open world. I'm just keeping it all the way a buck. This is why it would have me ODing on Adderall. Too much going on. I need a linear. I need to go from A to B, from B to C. I don't like big open world games.
I'm gonna pull that's a you problem, Z. I'm gonna pull that one.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a you problem. Like I have a whole video. I have a whole video about this where, like, yes, an experience. Maybe you get less time in God of War than you would Sea of Thieves, but I enjoyed God of War way more than I enjoyed Sea of Thieves. That's for damn sure. And I got less hours in it, though. In this game, it looks like not only would I get more hours, but it has the gameplay to back up those hours.
Yeah, I don't think this looks better than I mean,
it's not just about graphics, homie.
I don't know about. None of us know about gameplay. We have to play it, so we judge these games by what we look.
We're seeing the game.
We don't know anything about gameplay until we actually play the damn thing. You know,
it's kind of that was kind of an open book, man.
No, I'm just saying.
But you can judge the gameplay and compare the two. Both of them have gameplay out.
It's a shooter. We saw the RPG elements. We saw all the upper. There's nothing more to know unless it's glitchy or something, or it doesn't.
I'll give you an example, right?
For a second, but we can pretty much know how it's going to play.
We all know about bullet sponging into the vision until we played it. No, so you don't really know about the gameplay until you play the goddamn game. I'm just saying.
But we did know about the bullet sponging. What are you talking about?
They showed it.
They talked about it before the game came out.
Based off of their pedigree, like, come on, man.
I'm not saying they're not a great developer. I wouldn't put them up there with Naughty Dog. That's all. I mean, it's just
no. I completely disagree with that. CG Project Red is one of the defining developers now.
Oh yeah.
They are definitely up there.
Not saying anything bad about Naughty Dog, but no.
The Witcher outsold what Uncharted did. Sorry to tell you, Z.
Okay, well, that's a multiplayer. But to be fair, and K-Meg, I think you can attest to this, but like CD Projekt Red, you said they are like the kings. The fact that they put out The Witcher 3 and put other RPGs on notice, like Bethesda, saw The Witcher 3 and said, we got to step up our game. We got to make a new engine. The fact that they did that, you got to put respect on their mouth.
The Witcher 3 won way more awards than anything.
And beat out Fallout 4.
Yeah, and what was the most beautiful thing about The Witcher 3 is that, and this is something that only thing that I could go back to and look and say that's close is Mass Effect 3, the Mass Effect series, is the side stories. The side stories were so detailed in The Witcher, like they could have been their own game. Like the Baron, that will stay with me for the rest of my life as a gamer. The Baron story was just ridiculous.
Maybe I need to get back into The Witcher 3.
And the witches in the bog, all of that, because it all was tied in. And like it was just so insane how detailed that game was. And of course, the game,
it's overwhelming.
The game was not a 10 because it had a lot of bugs because the game was so freaking big. But the game is
she about to get that street rep by putting that jacket on right there.
my favorite. Is my favorite game of this generation.
But what I will say about this gameplay is what makes it like almost genre defined to me is not only people are saying like, well, it's doing nothing new, but it's the fact of everything it's doing in just one fucking game. I've never seen anything like this. Like, I remember Nibble on Twitter said something perfect. Like, when you walk out of the cave in Breath of the Wild, when you walk out of the vault in Fallout, it's almost like when they walked into the big city and just looking around and seeing how expansive and open and alive that city is. That's next generation shit. That's pushing gaming forward. I've never seen something that enrich.
Right. And somebody in the chat told me to say The Witcher.
I want to know what Tim Dog and Crapgamer think about this though.
I watched. Can you guys hear me?
We can
Yeah.
And then Crap will go. I watched 20 minutes of it, and I was extremely impressed. I stopped watching because I don't want to spoil the whole thing. I couldn't believe they were going on as much, but I went from the start of it to when the person was in the chair and being wheeled around or whatever. When you were, I don't know if you guys remember that part, but I thought it was very good. I think it's pretty much groundbreaking. That's why I stopped watching it, because I felt like this is a once every so often type game that I don't want to spoil it. So that's why I stopped watching. Day one looks fantastic. It looks really dark. It looks the world when you drive around. It's like
that gun store, man.
Unbelievably impressive.
This game is gonna put shooters on notice.
Yeah,
like,
so
there is no excuse anymore.
I think I'm very excited. I think that this might be their defining moment. But
yeah, it looks good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
a little low.
What's up?
The Crapgamer.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I mean, it's fresh. Everybody wants fresh stuff, right? Not the same old thing. And that's what this game is. It looks fresh. It's something new. It's not the same old thing. And I think that a lot, CD Projekt Red is on that level of Rockstar now, man. They're rock stars themselves.
Yeah.
People pay attention when these guys do something.
This gameplay came out of fucking nowhere. No one was expecting this, and look at how it blew up.
Only Rockstar have the balls to do something like that, where they're like, "Oh, I guess we'll drop something today," right? Like just out of nowhere. And that's what these guys did, and people paid attention, and everybody's talking about it. And the game looks amazing. I think it looks amazing, and I think, that I think this is the game that they've wanted to make for a long time, and The Witcher success allowed them to do that. So when you have that creative freedom and the money, and you finally have that fan base, I think that's really where some of their imagination gets to kind of tell this story, and that's why I'm excited about it. It's something new.
Crap gonna go into this game and hang out with the dirt girls like all the time.
I didn't watch that much of it just because I didn't want to spoil it, but I did watch about 5 minutes of it and was just blown away by what they showed. But they're CD Projekt Red, they've.
Okay, well, I got a question. Well, first, do me a favor, please. Now, can you pay the bills? Final month.
Oh,
let me look. I was on my screen, but I lost. I came back.
He said Norton Rockstar level. Into they sell 100 million. Oh, I guess he's saying they're not Rockstar level until they sell 100 million copies.
I mean, I think quality to test more than just sales.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that's not going to be on Rockstar's level then. And if you love Naughty Dog and Santa Monica and 343, any of them, I mean, Rockstar is its own animal.
Now, we don't have a release date for this game, right?
No.
No.
Okay, now, I hate to be Debbie Downer, right? But saying that they show so much, we know more about this game now. We're seeing more from this game than actually Crackdown 3, which has a release date.
Why you gotta bring that into it, man?
No, I'm saying, a little concerned.
Putting salt on the wound.
Good segue.
You concerned? You don't even care about Crackdown, man. Why are you concerned?
I didn't say me. I'm asking you guys.
Yo, it is awkward, man. But people pointed out that we do have the video game awards before February.
Oh, come on, like Xbox. Don't pull another
I'm just saying.
Don't pull another Comic-Con, bro. Let's just not do that.
No, but I'm just saying there is a place to see it. But I think what's gonna happen here, like worst case scenario, they'll just release it on that release date. Maybe without a lot of like fanfare or whatever, because they have Game Pass. And people are going to go in and play it on Game Pass, man. And they're going to have a lot of people playing the game still. So that's worst case scenario. But I do think I was surprised that we didn't see anything at like Gamescom when it came to Crackdown. But, I got my fingers crossed, man,
Okay, well.
I mean, that's for me. I mean, if the rumors are true about Xbox having their own show, then that would be the perfect time.
I'm not bringing that up.
Maybe if they have their own show, that would be cool. But the fact that they didn't show it at Gamescom is a little suspicious.
No, not necessarily. I mean, because they didn't.
sure?
Yeah, because I mean, if you're going to show your big reveals, and that's a reason for you're going to have that show. If you're having a show and then you're going to show the stuff that you showed at Gamescom, then that's a fail on Xbox. So
but that's if they have the show. If they end up not having the show, that's god.
I mean, yeah, that would be a bad look. Now, I mean, we know that they're going to a Tokyo Game Show, but
don't do that shit again.
No,
that's not for 2017.
Well, no, I'm just saying that wouldn't work. But I'm just saying, like, you know, Bot said that could work, but it's got to be to this show. If this show is about the rumors of it being true, then that's the perfect safe way to introduce it. And if they don't introduce it there, then there is a huge problem. Because
I mean, I mean, you don't know what deal that they have. I mean, I don't like. I think it's possible that they just wanted to show it on their own in the middle of nowhere, like they did. You know, I mean, at E3 they were showing this. I think the same demo, and it was so exclusive and pushed off, and so like made exclusive and you know, VIP that it was like a big deal to get to watch this video. And then for them just to release it the way they did today, that's what I found a little bit peculiar. But I do.
Wait. Hold on. What are you talking about?
With the Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh no, we're just talking about Crackdown.
He changed it up.
He brought Crackdown into it for some reason, man.
Was Crackdown the exclusive demo, Tim? What?
Okay, that makes sense.
He was like, yo, I know you
nail for a second.
Hey, no. I said, hold on.
Yo, Z was like,
did Crackdown get really exclusive? What the fuck's going on with Crackdown?
Like,
What I said, this just make you.
Why are you bringing up Crackdown?
A little concerned about Crackdown.
I
mean, what's his name in this game? Cyberpunk 2077. That's what I was asking.
All right, that was just
he wants to be on some bullshit.
You know, at this point in time, when we see Crackdown, we see it. I don't care. We see it when we see it. I'm past that. There's a lot of other multiplats that are coming out this holiday. You know, I'm gonna be knee deep into Red Dead Redemption 2, so I really don't care at this point. When they show it, they show it. That's it.
But here, Predator over here helping out Tim Dog. Maybe Microsoft will do a release on Inside Xbox for Crackdown or drop a video like CG Projekt just did. And
I think they're going to have a show through of Crackdown. I think that's going to be part of the show if they have a show in the event. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to show the game off. They're not going to just release it. They're going to have something tied to it. They're going to have, you know, they're going to have a marketing associated with it. They're not ninja. They're not just going to ninja release it where it's just like out of nowhere.
Stuff release.
That's what I said was worst case scenario right there, man. But I'm not going to talk about an Xbox event until somebody comes out and says something, man. Because like, you know, time would be ticking right now. You know what I'm saying? You figure
I wasn't.
They're sitting on stuff, so I do think that there's gonna. I think there's a strong chance.
Phil has gas. He's sitting on his ass. But listen, I wasn't trying to be messy. He said, "wasn't trying to be messy." I was just being messy.
You started.
I was just asking the question. You know,
yo, Z, we would hate to question your integrity.
My integrity is always in the question. You know this, right? True fuck nigga. But I'm saying though, like, just like that's what I was trying to say. This shows confidence, right? This game is at least a year and a half off. And we've seen so much from this game.
This is
this ain't nothing. This is just a part. I bet you this is part of the beginning of like maybe the first.
Saying, what I'm basically
you're comparing like Michael Jordan to freaking Joe Piscopo. I mean, it's just they're higher level. I don't think you're gonna get that level on.
Tim, he's like, I know you like the New York Giants, but what about the Chicago Bulls? Like that's the question. That's where it's going right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no comparison. There's really no comparison between the two.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I take that.
What about, bring up Ashton now. Bring up Ashton.
No, I know, right? Hey, yo, I was on some fucking nigga shit back then. But you forgive me, all right? The donations is rolling in. Check it out, though. Xbox All Access was confirmed today. What do you guys? No more speculation. We talked about it for the last 2 weeks here on the show. What was going to be? Was it one deal, $22 a month? They could shoot an S. Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass for 2 years, and the Xbox One S. Or they had the $35 bundle. They could shoot the X, the Gold, and Game Pass. What are you guys' thoughts?
Dude,
I thought it is. It's a good deal. I don't think it's that big. I think they're testing the waters for future stuff, since they're doing the phone model, obviously, with their upgraded consoles. But I think it's a good start. I think it gives some people more of an option to use it. I think probably the biggest mess up or mistake on it is the credit deal, where you got to apply for credit, because if somebody's not going to have the money to put up front for a console, they're probably not going to have good enough credit to be approved for this. So
Yeah, I
it kind of
agree.
makes it a little bit of a moot point, but still something out there. They're probably testing the waters, and hooray for them for kind of doing some options. Most people, I mean, it's just credit, honestly. I mean, if you buy it with a credit card,
Yeah.
same kind of deal. You can, it's like it's cool. I think that they're trying it out. We all probably thought they were going to try this out at the beginning of the generation.
Yeah.
They'll probably never announce how it does, but if they keep at it or expand it and add other stores, then we'll know that it was kind of a success, and we'll take it from there. But cool of them to add an option for people. Nothing wrong with that, man.
It's a cool option that, with the holidays kind of like right around the corner, if they market this well, even though I agree with Crap, they're testing this out, but if they put a little bit of marketing behind this, they're going to grab some parents and stuff like that who, they would be like, man, normally I get like little Jimmy out there a console for like $400 or $500. Now all I have to do is put $35 down and pay this little amount per month. And they're going to think about more money that goes to more gifts during the holidays in that lump sum category, and it's gonna snag people. People are gonna do this.
Yeah, no, I totally agree as well. I think what Crap was saying about the credit situation, that will hurt a lot of their opportunities.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, so they might have to be a little bit more lenient on that. But if they really want it to fly off the shelves, because if you do it kind of like a cons, or obviously people call it Rent-A-Center or whatever, you do it that way, that there'll be a lot more people to jump on, because it's the bundled pack of Game Pass alone, not in live, but more so Game Pass. A person don't even have to go and buy a whole bunch of games. They already have them available, and then you have a new console available for which one that you got. They see the option situation is great. I mean, we've been seeing this happen throughout all of our lives, of how people been, when you get a car, you don't go in there, and there's some of us that could go and walk and pay, 10 to 50,000 for a car. I damn sure can't. You know what I'm saying? There's people that can go and do this with refrigerators and just other things. But the thing of it is that you could still get things through line of credit, and we have been doing it. So I don't see why gaming can't be involved in this as well.
Mega, the reason why I say parents and everything like that, and I talk about the marketing, because if they market this right, Game Pass with over 150 games, 2 years of Xbox Live that would normally cost, and you can tell retail value $60, for a year, so that's $120 right there. You look at the Game Pass and the price for that for $10 a month, and you have the salesman or whoever, really breaking it down for people that are out there buying for their kids or whatnot. It's going to be a no-brainer, man. Like, they're going to be like, damn, this is where we're going.
If they wanted to, shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate it. You guys for the kind words. You guys just kind of hit the like button. When we first heard about the rumors, or Microsoft said to take it mainstream, I remember at the start of this generation, they was talking about maybe partnering with your cable provider, and you're paying actually like a few extra dollars on your cable bill to get the X or whatever the case may be. I said, man, I was thinking maybe they could put some type of baked-in DRM into it. You know what I mean? If you don't pay your bill,
I think that's the idea.
You know what I mean? If you don't pay the bill, your console won't come online or something.
Well, there's a couple of caveats with the situation. First, you have to go to a Microsoft store to do this. You can't just go online and apply for the credit and have it sent out. The way the way it's being worded is you have to go to in-store and you have to basically sign up for this. Now, it looks to be like an $800 credit line. Most people, barring that you didn't screw your credit up, if you're just getting started out, you'll be extended this, the credit. If you do have screwed up credit, you're probably out of luck. I'd say that's not going to be a big deterrent. You know, I mean, I think like you guys are all saying, they're setting up for next gen. This is a test. It's a good option. Let's not make it more than it is. This is a classic example of we're making more than it really is. I mean, I'm reading people talk about, you know, they're worried about the financial waters now because of this. I mean, come on. I mean, caring about another man's dollar. I mean, the things that I have read.
It's a trap.
When you know that they don't give a shit. But the bottom line is that it's just an option, and it's a good option, and it's probably going to be available, maybe a little different terms at the start of the generation. Maybe they'll handle the credit. Because right now they're basically, they have Dell doing it, but I just think it's something where they're probably going to just give it a look at, and then they'll do it next gen, and they probably do it themselves. You could probably extend the letter to themselves if they want to get involved with that.
What if they try to use like Z was saying just a minute ago about the cable companies?
What if they go?
That makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know. I think that got away with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah, because I know that Michael Pachter was one of the first people to bring that up, and it just shows that he was just a generation behind. But if you go through your cable provider and use that would actually definitely alleviate some of the pressures of the credit situation, I think, because of the fact that you implement that and you put DRM in it, whatever, shut that shit down, whatever, they don't pay. I think man, people will jump all over.
You know, so many people are cutting the cord when it comes to cable, man. I would rather have them do a deal with, like, you know, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, or something, have it going through those stores that have a heavier traffic of
that
people
makes sense.
coming
That makes
through.
a lot of sense. That makes
You know what I'm saying? I think if this test is a success, that's where I think you're going to see it going next, and that's when you're going to get a lot more people kind of jumping in on this. I mean, it's a no-brainer. People do this with cell phones like all the time. So what's to stop like a console company doing the same thing with a video game console?
Right. It makes sense. It's just really, you're applying the credit situation world to video games, you know, and you could you know, people say, well, it's not a utility, it's not an essential, but it is what it is. If the next generation consoles come out and the pricing is $149 for the cloud console, $499 for the new most powerful, they're probably going to give you another option too, where it's like $35 to buy this console. I think this is going to be, for me, I think instead of ending the gen with this, I think that they're actually going to start the gen with this pricing model and this access.
Yo, Tim, when you said that people, you know, are pointing out it's not a necessity, and I've had people say, you know, cell phones are a necessity. I want to reach out to the people out there and let people know, you know what? I won't argue with you. If cell phones, if you think they're a necessity, I'll go with that. But guess what? $1,000 cell phone isn't a necessity.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the people at my job, you know what I'm saying, these are old cats, right? Those are baby boomers, right? And, you know, I walk in there with my phone and he's like, I just don't understand why the hell you need all that just for phone. I said, because I need it. You know, I'd say the same thing. It's a necessity. No, this is a necessity. And they pull out a flip phone and they say, oh, this son of a
I know.
It texts and it calls, and then I can get calls back. That, and I got a voicemail.
And that's
a necessity. You know what I'm saying? What you got is overboard. And that's exactly what it is. So when people bring up about like, oh, well, cell phones are a necessity. Yes, they are, but what's the coin? What kind of cell phone you got? Or a car. You can go to an auction and buy a car for like $2,000, and that bitch will take you to point A, point B, but you might not be pulling no chicks in it. But you know, so that's why you want the best car with the best cars, bells and whistles. So it just goes hand in hand, man. Everything else uses a line of credit to get these products and finance. Why not consoles? Because I guarantee you, once Xbox do this, PlayStation and whoever else will be right behind it trying to do the same thing.
Oh man, imagine that. They did the same thing. Imagine the damage control.
The bills real quick. Mitch Mustang Sr. with the $2 says Xbox is on its Sega channel shit. The reference.
Really?
I guess I said just testing the waters, but for it to be a mainstream thing, you know, They would have to bring in more places outside of just. I mean, if I'm not be funny,
Yo,
I've
Z,
never seen the Microsoft Store pack. Really, I'm just being real. Like,
Yo, Z, if PlayStation does it, man, you can pay them with that PlayStation credit card. You know what I'm saying?
But what Xbox was saying earlier, like by the next generation or the next Xbox launch, they really do need to expand out to different stores like Best Buy, Walmart. So they need to do something because I don't think the Microsoft Store is going to be quite enough.
Yeah.
Not enough traffic, man.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Not enough traffic. Not enough traffic.
I mean,
Are you going to buy in on this, man?
if you could do it through Amazon, I think then you're
Amazon would be the best,
Amazon,
but
man.
they're doing their own shit over there at Amazon.
And they'll send that shit to you by a little drone. You know what I'm saying? So
I was just thinking that.
They do not care. So they'll just throw it at you, and they don't care if you don't pay or whatever. But they just want you to have that product, and that right there is what Microsoft is going to have to do, because that's when Crap said about the line of credit. I'm like, they're going to have to bite the bullet on some things. And you know what I'm saying? Because of if you want to reach this 2 billion, you're going to have to take a chance on some people that credit is not the best. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and for the people that's complaining and talking about, well, this could be a thing or the future that's not going to be an option. This is going to be just you just being forced down your throat. I beg to differ. Because the gamers, I don't think will stand for being forced to do anything.
Forced.
I'm saying. So it's to me, it's like, look, I'm gonna most likely buy my console the traditional way, like I've always bought it, just buy the whole damn thing.
Yo,
but
Mega.
I just want to see as many people just get on board on this, and this is not just because it's an Xbox thing. I want PlayStation to do it, and I want Nintendo to jump on board as well.
Yo, if they see it successful, they definitely will. Because we got to remember, these companies, they want to go more into streaming than anything else. I've been saying this for like 2 years now, but for people who are like pointing to, there's always a negative aspect out there. Nothing is ever 100% good. There's always what if this and what if that. All right. And it's healthy for people to look into it and be like, well, what if this happens or what if that happens? And it's good to see things in a wide scope, both the positive and the possible negative. But at the end of the day, I think it's a really good move for the gamers as of right now, and of course for the company as well. It's both pro business and pro gamer at the same time, and that's why I like the option, man.
Yeah, I agree with Xbox 100%. But what I'll say is, like, a lot of people here are making fun of this, but if you don't care about it, then just don't use it. Like for me, I'm not going to personally use it myself. I'm just going to trade in my old console and just upgrade it that way. But there is quite a big community out there that just can't get these consoles day one. But if you offer them a cheaper option just to do this, and then they get all these games with it, you know, they just might go for it. And of course, they'll probably want to pay for online. So if that's included into the cost, why not?
Dude, when Scarlet comes out,
just another option.
When Scarlet comes out, me talking to my wife about getting the next piece of hardware, it'll be a lot easier to tell her, you know what? All we have to do is put down $35 a month. We'll get 2 years of Xbox Live, 2 years of Game Pass, and she'll be like, okay, where are we going? Like right off the bat. There would be no argument there, yeah.
Why are people upset with an option though? It's an option. If it's not for you, then buy your console the traditional way. For the person that say doesn't have the means to get it all one time, it's a good option for it. We have these rent-a centers all over the place where people pay like a way higher price just to rent a couch and can't afford one. At least this is actually cheaper than buying it full out retail.
And Jamal King with the $199 says $840 for 2 years, no games. Fuck this shit.
But that's a stupid statement.
Yeah, if you're in the ecosystem, you're spending that money anyways.
Yeah, I mean, for the
money on Xbox, for the couch that we spend on Game Pass, like
the couch that my old lady bought. I think she got like 4 more payments before it's paid off. She got this leather like, I don't know, movie type couches and shit, and the motherfucker costs $280 a month. So I'm like, what are you talking about? $35 ain't shit, really. I mean, that is a bomb. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so
especially even 22. If you're budget minded, you can do $21.
Right. And I mean, if you really want to be, and if you want to be frugal like that and do it the smart way, then you can start saving your chips now, $35 a month. You know what I'm saying? Or whenever you get your check, $35 a check, and then you can probably get the Scarlet when it comes out. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Yeah. So it goes both ways, man. So,
I mean, it really comes down to if this is not going to be something that sways the tables, that's going to make generations of people be credit default. This is just another added way of getting something that you like, in this case, video games, at a cheap price. Now, it works in a lot of ways. For me, it works in instantly. Like, I remember when I was 21, I lived paycheck to paycheck. I was on my own already. I had, my own apartment, but I didn't have, I was working where I'm working now, but, I wasn't even got a top pay. It was, I was struggling.
Entry level, man.
Yeah. So I remember I had to wait for the Xbox One. I had to wait for the paycheck. So for me, that type of deal is like, you see something like that. I'm a guy that loves tech, and I just have to go really to a Microsoft store, get approved, which I would have been because I had some credit, and do that. I would have done that in a pinch. And I think there's a lot of people that could work for. There's also a lot of kids say, hey, I'll do chores. Just get me in on. The kid will tell the parents, hey, this will be my allowance. Exactly. I'll do
it is a month, so it
works. And for the parent, it's like, I mean, some will probably just say no right off the bat and say that it's silly, but there will be somebody that takes it on, and then you could even have somebody who's just budget conscious and just doesn't want to put the money up front. So there's a lot of options. Who the hell are we to say you can't have this option? Let's
exactly. And the fact that and what pays for itself is the new games that's going to be on Game Pass. Like that pays for itself. Like when you get Forza and Crackdown and Ashen and whatever else that's going to be on
Crackdown.
Those are $60 games. You know what I'm saying? $60 to $35 games that you get that are brand new, included with that. So you're still winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's.
Well, I look at it like this. Now, right now, this deal doesn't benefit me. I already have an X, and it's not as far as the games are in there. I already played. But maybe next generation, you know what I mean, with these five. And maybe like I said, maybe I can see the value in it for me then next generation, with newer games. Like I said, and that's when my Xbox Live runs out next year 2020. I'm sorry, runs out in 2020. So maybe then it would have some value for me. Then maybe I might get ahead and try it. $35 a month, especially if the PS4 comes out again. We're gonna say say November 13th. And the next Xbox will come out November 20th, in the same month like they did.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Z.
So then, like I said, maybe I would look into it then and have some value. Like I said, then, like as far as I'm hoping they will have games in there by now that will appeal to me. So, like I said, we shall see. We shall see. Yeah. Moving right along, right quick. Spider-Man, the talk of the week, Downgrade. Some say yay, some say nay. What are you guys' thoughts?
But just wait until the game comes out, because even if you are, it's downgraded, or if you're not, it's downgraded. Why would you risk having egg on your face?
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal when it comes to this. I saw the pictures, and if you look at the screenshots, you would definitely see a downgrade. But at the end of the day, that does not curb my excitement for this game, because I still think it's going to be a fun game. A lot of people out there, man, they have become absolute graphic whores, and it's all about what the graphics are doing. And there's things called immersion gameplay, the gameplay mechanics and everything like that. If they all come together and make a quality game, I'm down with that. But I don't want to see people steering away saying that there was no downgrade. When you look at the screenshots, you can clearly see with your own eyes. I've talked to developers and they're like, yeah, no, they did something more than just change the day cycle there.
I got to touch on this one. To be all honest, I don't know why fanboys get all up in, oh, it's been downgraded. It's been downgraded. From what I can see, in all honesty, the lighting has changed. And when you do change the lighting in a game, everything is going to be different. The colors are going to be different. The reflections are going to be different. That's all going to have a completely different look. Now, from the explanation that they gave, they said the lighting has been changed of the time of day, which of course it's going to make everything look brighter. It's not going to be as dark. Now, as far as the puddles are concerned, I did see less puddles. However, I didn't see the quality of the puddles decrease, just less puddles, and that
just
could
moved
be,
them.
That could be an artistic thing from the actual video that they released of that trailer for launch day. It looked phenomenal. It looked fantastic, and you know it's gonna look better on the Pro. So those saying it's been downgraded. I don't really think it's been downgraded. I think the game still looks fantastic, and you know what? Stop the shit, man. Give a good game its credit. Like, we don't know how it plays yet, but it looks fantastic. And anyone saying otherwise, they're just full of it, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, you just wait until the game comes out, because why would you risk just taking an L? Because if you say it's downgraded now and it turns out it's not downgraded, that's instant egg on your face, and vice versa.
Well,
like,
I'm going by what they showed so far out there on the interwebs, man. I'm not saying that the actual game. I'm saying if you look at it from screenshot to screenshot,
you definitely see a difference.
You would be blind to say that there was no kind of.
Yeah, I'll admit that screenshot looks bad, but at the end of the day, we're so fixated on this single screenshot, but no one says any downgrade or anything when they saw live gameplay for all these months.
Well,
it's weird that now that you have one screenshot, suddenly it's a downgrade. Well, it isn't that the screenshot could have been bad.
The funny thing about the screenshot is the screenshot came up about a week ago, and you know what? My first take was, "Hey, that shit looks downgraded." But you know what? I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna make a thing of this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just, because first everyone's just gonna say, "Hey, you're the salty Xbot," ha ha ha, and say it. But I saw it, so this is now we're talking about a week ago.
Yeah.
And then I think Press Start Kofi put up a tweet and said to change the lighting, and then a lot of PC guys kind of got on it, where it was everyone was just saying, "Oh, it's Xbox being salty and it's and fanboys this and that." And then now it became a different thing because those guys are like saying, "Hey, we're looking at the pictures and yeah, it looks downgraded." Now, I mean, I agree the lighting has changed everything, but if you look at the pictures close enough, you'll see like by the you could go part by part by part. Like with the grading, there's a yellow line that's much more defined. But at the end of the day, like you guys said, is it going to take away your fun of the game? No, the game is probably going to be like, oh my god, it's fantastic. It looks amazing. What are these guys saying? It's a downgrade. From when you look at it from those two slides, my thing is it's undeniable to say that you don't see a difference. There is a difference, but I do think that now this gets put on the merry-go-round. In my opinion, the developer should have never talked about this on Twitter. Like the developer came out and he said to somebody, this is this, and they kind of got on the defense mode, and that's what really kind of put this in an ugly. My thing is, if that was never written, I think it would have went away, but now it's kind of here.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you said, Tim, but if it was truly a big downgrade, then we would notice that just in gameplay, just in motion. And the fact that no one notices gameplay, like you've literally watched this game like 5 feet in front of your face, and you didn't know shit.
DAs. People are on DAs. I've talked to somebody who's played
but it was right in front of you, and you didn't even notice it.
No, I noticed it. Well, I noticed it at the thing, but I'm not comparatively noticing that to that. You know what I mean? When you're at E3, I saw. People say, well, what about the scenes? There's only a certain amount of scenes that you had in the trailer. The trailer wasn't like 2 hours long. What I saw was when you're traversing through the world, which is to me is really the catch of the game. It's not really these indoor environments. I don't think that they.
Yeah, but there's like hours of footage of just free roam gameplay, demo gameplay that isn't.
I haven't watched that, but I can tell you this is what I do know. I do know that from this picture, I do see a downgrade. I do know that it's probably blown out of proportion. I would agree with you, and I do know that it is not completely out of the realm of a developer to try to make their game look the better as possible and then not exactly hitting that threshold. Mm-hmm. I think that always happens at E3, and it happens not only with Sony, it happens with Microsoft, but in this case, it does look like it. But I mean, overall, like I said, I think people are going to play it and say it looks fantastic. I don't think
as for me,
I'll do a link in your DM. Do you mind just pulling up that link real quick?
Okay.
Yeah, but as for me, I don't care. I don't really care. I want to get the game later on within a year. when everybody is pretty much going to stop talking about the game. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's probably the best time to play it. It's, you know what I'm saying, to just play it in peace and enjoy it.
Grab the Game of the Year edition with all the DLC. And
right.
everything
Like,
that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's, you know what I'm saying, are people who already played through it and all that. So I just, all these downgrades, things like that. I remember when they brought up the stuff about the downgrade of God of War.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a downgrade, but the game looked fantastic. So I don't care. It doesn't.
There wasn't a downgrade with God of War.
There was a downgrade. I mean, there
wasn't a downgrade with God of War.
Nevels, calm down. Regardless of the fact of if you think that there wasn't a nod, if there wasn't a nod, look, I don't care. I just said that the game still looked fantastic.
You know what?
Just live with it. Let me say what I need to say. And regardless, it really doesn't matter. If you, I made this on a tweet. If you are a person that wants to play this game and it does have a significant downgrade or just a downgrade, why the hell should you matter? You're there to play this game because it looks fun and immersive.
Trust K-Mega play some crappy looking games too.
Yeah, I do. I play some games that look like trash, but I'm saying if it's fun, I'll play it. But
I don't know. I think Sony games have been stood the test of time. Like Uncharted said there was downgrade. There was no downgrade. God of War,
was an Uncharted downgrade.
Uncharted was definitely downgraded. Uncharted was.
Yeah, but the fact of it is overall, if you have used it as a fanboy ploy to attack other gamers because of the graphics of that game, you should get your ass ripped. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. If you clown in the game saying that it has a downgrade and it doesn't, then you should get ripped for it. But other than that, if you're just playing the game, that shit shouldn't matter to you, because if you have a 4K television, you've got a PlayStation Pro, I'm sure that's just going to look.
Yeah, it's going to look good.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's honestly the most adult answer of the situation. I just think that in reality is like you get this stuff and how the games get plagued and how gamers are. You look at when Sunset came out, you know, these guys who love Insomniac now, they were making fun of them for being 900p. Okay,
right.
That's how stupid. And Sunset Overdrive looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
So with this is just. I think that I don't think that you're dealing with a massive downgrade like you had with the one downgrade that I would say that's massive and was a shit show was the Watch Dogs. I mean, I think if you guys remember that pissed me off, because I specifically remember how that game looked.
Oh yeah,
and then how it came out, there was nothing close. This is not going to be the case. It's not even come close to that. So, you know, when you talk about these huge downgrades, with that one game stands out. Even Witcher 3, if you look at Witcher 3, their beginning artwork or whatever, I think you compare it, it doesn't look as sharp. But, you know, on
PC, it did.
But I mean, I don't know if it ever hit that fidelity, though. I remember them going screenshot to screenshot, and I was like, eh. But
somebody said the Division too. Yeah, the Division was definitely downgraded.
Yeah,
it was definitely down. But I love the Division.
That's a Ubisoft shit, though.
We're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with that.
Let me pay the bills right quick. Von Lamont said devs already denied this. People say every Sony game gets a downgrade. Everybody that played the game is denying this claims also. And Jamal King put Xbox praying Sony take the L on the downgrade. I will say this, right? If I was still on the Xbox side, I will leave that shit alone, because even with a downgrade, it still looks better than anything graphically on the X.
Agreed.
So I would just leave that. I would find some other shit to damn.
I wouldn't say it looks better than anything on the X, man.
What does?
Spider-Man.
He says exclusive
was. Neth said it right. He said if you really go full out, like some guys have, you're going to pay the price when the game comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't get why you didn't want like 2 weeks.
You know, but, you know, I mean, I do think that everyone's going to say, hey, this is not downgraded. It's amazing looking. You know, I do think that's going to happen.
Right.
So there's really, if people were fearing that it was going to be downgraded, in my opinion, I don't think you're going to get that where it's a Division situation. No way. You're going to get a good experience with this, and I think that it's going to do what it's supposed to do.
Well, Tim, the Don from Next Podcast, he says, you know, stuff like that happens all the time. Even a lot of times, even when a game goes gold, you still have developers in there optimizing. If there was like a frames per second issue when it comes to a certain area, when it comes and enemies and stuff, they will like remove the puddles and try to get the frame to smooth out and stuff like that, even after it goes gold. So it's something I kind of expect it when it comes to games. And like at the end of the day, people saying that I hope this is an L. I am like the hugest Spider-Man fan that I know, man. Like this is the one game that, like, when we did get a PS4 on sale, this was the one game I'm like, damn, I'm gonna play the hell out of my PS4 for Spider-Man. And I'm still hyped for the game, but I'm gonna call what I see. You know what I'm saying?
You're being honest. I mean, the people talking about L's maybe should look at themselves, because they got so upset about this that, you know, they basically were crying in their bed at night about this, and it wasn't really a big deal. So the L might have been on them being that emotionally invested.
I think,
in my opinion,
I think the
game's going to look good.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome.
But if you can't, you have to be able to look at something and tell the truth.
Yeah, well,
and then I always remember the grass. Rad Gamer, I'm gonna tell my story. Rad 420 Gamer, shout out to you. Was the biggest Xbox guy that he was bigger than me. Love Phil. One day, a Digital Foundry thing comes up, and he was like the biggest. Still on Twitter, he keeps banning. He comes back and says he wants to be, but whatever. So he's on Twitter, and I'm on Twitter, and the whole thing with Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and there was with the grass, and I said, you know, Rob, there's more grass in the PlayStation 4 one. He went bananas, and crap. If he's listening, he'll remember. He went bananas and switched his whole entire thing, and he blocked me. He says, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a toxic, you know, he went off on me. I'm like, Rob, the grass is there. The point of this is that people get like so
that guy
emotionally
was crazy.
Yeah, but people get so emotionally invested that they can't tell what the hell's in front of their eyes. Like, I mean, he's such a fanboy that he can't say that there's more grass on the PlayStation 4 side when there was. And if you remember, it was a huge deal. Yeah. So all this stuff is now commonplace right now, what we're in, and all this stuff. This is nothing new. But the fact of the matter is that people have to be honest. If you do see something, you can say it.
Oh yeah.
Let's not get all emotionally saying this is.
I will say that the picture that they showed, or whatever the case, the other picture looked sharper. I'm just looking over the game, still looks great to me. You know, it is what it is. But moving right on, we got one more topic I want to discuss. Hey, D.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, now you were saying PlayStation 5. Now highly likely 2019. You want to tell the audience why?
AMD announced that their 7nm Vega GPU is bumped up. They said they got everything done quicker than they anticipated, and they're moving it up to later this year, 2018.
What are we on now? 10 nanometers? What are we on now?
14?
No, 14. They were on 14. Yeah, and now they're dropping down to 7. So of course, 7 nanometer is just gonna have wicked performance. It's gonna run a lot cooler. It's gonna require less power. It's just gonna be fantastic. And no one's really there at 7 nanometer yet. AMD is gonna get there first, pretty much. So they moved their whole, because of this. That means that their whole roadmap has moved up. So Navi was supposed to be deep into 2019. Some were saying maybe 2020. I still think it was late 2019. Now it's gonna get bumped up. Now with it being bumped up, the commercial release, I would think that would also bump up the PlayStation 5. I think all along the PlayStation 5 was scheduled for 2019, to be honest with you. There's just so many hints out there to come to that conclusion. But I think there's even more evidence now with 7 nanometer Navi getting bumped up that PlayStation 5 will be coming out.
So we're still going to be we're still dealing with APUs, right?
Yeah, well, AMD is also going to unveil their first 7 nanometer APU later this year. Okay. So of course that's going to be an APU. Now, if they're announcing their first 7 nanometer APU this year, you know, it's not out of the question to see, you know, a 7 nanometer consoles starting next year, right?
Yeah, well, I feel good though, D. You'll be proud of me, because here next month, after I come back from New Orleans, I'm going to go and invest into the Ryzen chip. So I'm going to finally upgrade my damn PC, man. So.
Yeah, Ryzen's just fantastic, man.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm still going to keep it AMD, but I'm going to go ahead and get this everybody talk bad about my poor PC, dog shit ass chip, and go ahead and get this Ryzen.
Hey, y'all remember that episode of
and get my graphics card.
Hey, Megan said I got the P dad. You had a
hey man, it was. I think I was fucking around a little. I was fucking around somewhat, but I mean, my PC it does what it does. It does 1080p.
Hey yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't know what the fuck you was talking. He had this long ass launch code.
Yeah, but yeah, man. No, my PC. I never brag about my PC. I just know the motherfucker works. But you know, I give a big shout out to my boy B Shadows for you know, telling me the stuff to get. But you know, it is. I'm enjoying streaming now, so I'm really finna go balls to the wall now. So I'm finna
you
go
use
ahead.
your PC to stream?
And everything, huh?
You use your PC to stream?
I have been, yeah. Here lately, I have.
No.
No, I use Mixer, but for some reason, my feedback on Mixer doesn't look weird. I'm gonna have to give me another HDMI. I'm gonna give me a 4K HDMI thing, and maybe that might help it because, or you know what I'm saying? Because I got another one, but I think that's an old ass HDMI. So I'm gonna just give me another HDMI cable, and hopefully that the picture will get better quality when I'm working with Mixer. But here lately, since I've been using, going off of the Elgato. And then I also have some other software so I can show play some PC games. It shows a lot clearer.
I love the Ryzen platform for streaming. I use the stream all the time, up to 1440p, and it's buttery smooth. I have no issues. Right? To be honest with you, I think Ryzen is the best CPU platform you can get for streaming. Period. And there's benchmarks out there that prove that, like by far.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to go into it, man. I've seen one set that I'm going to go ahead and get. It's like $249, so I'm gonna go ahead and cop that, and then give me a graphics card, and then give me a new tower with a cooling system on it. So get rid of this. I'll just set this shit up, man.
Yo, D, you're talking about the PS5. Like I haven't heard you say anything about the next Xbox. Is there anything like where AMD is working with Microsoft? Do you think they're going somewhere else? Or
no, Microsoft's going to stick with AMD. I think that I said in this video, and I'm probably going to do a follow-up video getting more into ray tracing and all of that stuff. But I think the next consoles, both of them, both the PlayStation 5 and the next Xbox, I think they both will be capable of doing ray tracing. I think once these consoles start to adopt ray tracing, then you're going to see it trickle over to the PC, right? Because the PC obviously is going to support it now, but not every game is going to support it. And like I said earlier in the show, like this first time out the gate, you're really looking at 1080p, hopefully 60 frames per second with ray tracing, right? So that's a low metric compared to the 4K 60 that we're used to. And apparently these new cards are going to be doing like 4K 80, 90 frames per second. To dumb it down to 1080p, just because it's a little bit, well, it's going to be prettier, but still it's going to be a jump down to 1080p at the same time.
Well, here's the question then. All right, so basically we're just getting into 4K gaming this generation, right? Do you think as a next gen, with these temperatures, do you think that 4K will be the standard, or we still going 4K 30, or will it be 4K 60?
Well, if you go on how the consoles are, the consoles when they come out, most of the time they're about a mid-gen PC when they come out in comparison. So next year, pretty much, and even I would say to some degree later this year with these RTX GPUs, mid-gen is going to be doing 4K 60 because I'm pretty sure the RTX 2080 will be hitting 4K 60, 4K 65, 66, and of course the RTX 2080 Ti, I think that'll be hitting more 70s, 80s, 90s at 4K. So it's not out of the realm to think that the next gens will be able to do 4K 60. Of course, we know that they're bumping up to the Ryzen CPUs. Both of them most likely going to be using a Ryzen CPU. So gone are these anemic Jaguar cores.
Finally.
So at the very least, we're going to be getting 4-core, 8-thread CPUs in these next generation consoles, which is more than enough to push 4K. Because once you start to get up to 4K, anyways, the CPU doesn't tell the complete story. It's your GPU as well. So as long as they balance it out, I don't see why they can't, especially with the technology that's available now.
All right. We're going to say Intel for both the PS5 and the Xbox, whatever it's going to be called, $500.
Yeah, I would say they'll be about five to 6.
All right.
Yeah, if they 6, then that plan is going to be perfect for Xbox.
Well, you got to think PC now has just jumped up. These RTX 2080s and 2080 Ti's. They're fucking expensive, and you still got to buy the CPU. You still got to buy your coolers, your RAMs, your motherboards. It's going to be expensive. So don't expect these consoles to come out next generation at like $300-$400 or not. They're going to be
I think it'll be about 500. But do you guys want to take bets on when it's actually releasing? Like, do you think it's next year? I'm saying 2020.
I
2020 Mega.
I think the PS5 is going to come next year. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so 2019 for PS5. I'm saying 2020. What else do you guys think?
I'm saying 2020 for both, man. Like almost deadline. They both released just about the same time.
Yeah, I say 2020 for everybody too.
I say early 2020 for Cloud Scarlet 149.
Yeah.
Late 2020 499 Xbox One XX, PS5 399 2020. Yep.
Yeah, I generally think they want to stick to the $399 too.
I don't think they can. If going by those rumors are correct, those leaks from that we got from semi-accurate, and they've been pretty hit on. They're talking about at a minimum.
They've been semi-accurate.
They were saying it's coming out next year.
But,
so
I'm just saying they said
the original. I know Charlie.
Yeah,
Charlie knows his shit, but with the whole PlayStation 5, he has not been.
No, I'm just saying, but the rumor specs
can be considered a source.
Yeah, I'm just saying from the rumor specs, if that is somewhat accurate, we're talking about 16 gigabytes of GDR6.
I think it's right, Navi. Yeah,
10 T-flops for $400? No way.
Well,
yeah,
if it is,
2020,
that bitch is not going to be backwards frontwards compatible.
No, I think he got the specs right, but I think it's 399 2020. You're talking about 10
Yeah.
2020, that price is not out of the question. 2020, 10 teraflops.
You're talking about 2 years from now.
Yeah, and we're talking about Sony. They're let me tell you something.
They don't want to go $499. They're Sony. They're smart.
10 T-flops with a Ryzen CPU? Shit, me $500.
I don't know. I think $399. I think
we're
they
want a lot of these.
I think Sony likes that price. Honestly,
people that's going to say that 500 is acceptable.
And the way Xbox is talking, it sounds like they're going to have the most powerful console. They know that. Maybe that's because of these all access deals that they're coming out with, or they're very confident that they're gonna take the power crown. They're not relinquishing it. I mean, at very worst, they probably can be matched at $499. But that's why I think they're $499, and I think that PlayStation 5 is $399. I think that Sony's smart, and that is a sweet spot.
We're talking about VR baked in.
$399 is a sweet spot.
Oh, it is, but we're talking about 2020. Like, shit got to go up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, but if they can get a $399, they're gonna.
I doubt that very soon. We heard it for Zaire says 500. Tim Dog says 400. I'm just saying, if we pay 500 for fucking 60 flops, ain't nowhere in hell we paying 500 for fucking 10 flops in 2020.
What, 3 years later? Come on, that's not a big gap. That's 3 years later.
It's still a console, and we talking about VR baked in and all that shit there with Horizon.
Yeah, well, what if one's 12 T-flop to 10? What are you gonna say? What if Xbox is 12?
I say it's still be $500. I think $500. I think we have to.
So you're saying they're both gonna have the same specs at 500? I don't see that happening. That's where I think that Sony's gonna beat them on price.
And then that could be the reason why for all access, because that would be very smart for Xbox, because people, if they have a console that's $500 to $600 and it's that much more powerful, then it's going to be very, very, very smart of them to say, hey, look, you can go ahead and get all access, pay it off in 2 years, have the most powerful console of all time, and go from there.
They might discontinue. I don't know. They might not make an Xbox One S's anymore. They might stop that, because now I was on the Mad show, and they're gonna have 4 consoles on the market. That's crazy. Yeah. Think about that. So there's so much that's gonna go this next generation. It's gonna be fun, but it's so much in the air that we'll get a clearer picture definitely at E3.
Next E3.
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll start to there's so many things that are up in the air. The backwards compatibility. Are they going to cut the gen off? Sony can just say, hey, cut the gen off and go $399 and probably still survive, but they'll have that leg up because now you're only developing for one system. Mm-hmm. This whole dealing with Pro, dealing with OG PS4, dealing with Xbox One X, OG Xbox. There's gonna come a strain where you can't build you can't build your games.
Yeah.
The way you want to build them because you're being hunkered down by these older consoles. To me,
that's what I said.
I'm like, get rid of all the, get rid of everything. I want newest. And, I want the backwards compatibility, but that is essential. But I don't care about like Xbox One X or S's they get discontinued. I'm not like gonna be crazy over it. I guess they'll still have to play the games, but there's gonna come a time when they don't have to develop for that system.
Yeah, well, it's, like I said before we go, it all comes down to third.
By 2020, I would see the S being the one being discontinued by 2020. That's why I think that Xbox will go 2020, and therefore the X. That's why I said the X was future proof, and people laughed at me. But I'm saying that system can last a little bit longer than the normal console. Like the Pro, once the PlayStation 5 comes back, that thing is dead in the water, Jack. That thing is vamoose. But so that's why like the whole thing for forward and backwards capability for PlayStation is going to be the telling tale of what PlayStation is going to do. And that price.
They can't discontinue PlayStation 5. I have news for you. They can't in 2020 discontinue PlayStation 4. They're not right, no, but Xbox can theoretically.
Yeah.
Xbox can say bye ass.
PlayStation is going to have the same problem as what the 360 had last gen going into this gen. Everybody's still enjoying their 360.
They're not going to discontinue the S in 2020. I'll tell you that right now. Like, it's
I don't know.
Happen. If they do forwards compatibility, they're not going to have to deal. They don't have to deal with parity. So the games on the S and even on the X are going to be kind of downgraded. If they go forwards compatibility, you're going to get the best quality, the biggest games on Project Scarlet. But at the end of the day, they're going to be majorly downgraded and still playable on the X and S.
They got rid of the original Xbox One though.
The fat is gone. Yeah. So I mean,
when Scarlet comes out, I could see them getting rid of
They wanted it. Phil wanted to get that big black box out of the way, man. Let's be real here.
Oh man, what you mean, bot? What you talking about, bot?
Big black box.
The VCR, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh man.
But no,
what you think I'm talking about, man?
Bro, I don't know. Hey, yo, but I want to see if we go. It all comes down to third party. They basically dictate the industry, what engines they'll be running. Because who's to say what engines they will be running next gen? We might go from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. You know what I mean? So if they have,
but even these game engines, they have. Again, I was talking to the Don. They're gonna have similar backbones and everything like that.
I'm just saying, but if they're not going to bring the multiplayer, they're not going to with the Switch. If they're not going to go out of their way to shoehorn games in, it's just dead in the water.
They're going to have the games.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's up to them. It's up to them. Like if they don't want to cut corners and the shoehorn that old 2013 hardware or whatever the case may be, it's a wrap for them fucking consoles. You know what I mean?
I don't. I mean, look,
it feels good to hear Z talk about multiplats again, man, because he's been running with that.
For real.
You know why? So once you start experiencing these exclusives on the Sony side of the street, you don't have time to multiplats.
Xbox is not going to lose the power conversation ever again.
In a
all
year,
the multiplats is going to look better on whatever Xbox is going to be. Well, except for the S.
When it's not so fresh, let's see if you feel like that in a year.
Listen, as long as they're still putting this CFD, hell yeah, still be free.
CFDs, baby, let's go.
Gears 5 comes along. I don't want to see any of your footage on your freaking page. You're only allowed to.
If you guys enjoyed this show, y'all gotta get your Gears with me, Tim. Let me knock you around with that shotgun, man.
You're good at Gears.
Right on time, Z. Rachel's about to come over.
I gotta see that Master Chief collection, man. I gotta download that.
It looks so good.
I heard it's ready.
So
ready.
Yeah, Warrior just hit me just now, so he's downloaded. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the show today, shout out to everybody that rocked out in the chat. Y'all, Taser, Fees, Dave, Teaser, all you guys, DG, Z Black Rider, my God. Pause. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Appreciate it, Predator, Top Dog as always. If I missed your name, please forgive me. Future Generation, Ron Lamont, Cyberpunk Man. Hit the like button. We'll be back tomorrow with different things that we do. And again, I'll extend our condolences to the fellow gamers that lost their life this past Sunday at the Madden tournament. And hope we can not say come together as a community and see what can be done. You never know. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. We out of here, man. Bacon.
Meow, meow.